Hello, everyone. It's Reese from the Nightmare Fuel podcast, and I wanted to do just a quick little solo video. I've been messing around on Premiere and wanted to show off my skills with a Z, of course. This video that I'm about to watch is from Kyle Kulinski, of Secular Talk, and he's talking about Japan, the Supreme Court of Japan deciding to survey all Muslims. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Go ahead, Kyle.
The Independent is reporting on an incredible story coming out of Japan. They say Japan's Supreme Court has upheld the government's blanket surveillance of the country's Muslim community.
Just a quick comment. You have to love how Japan's Supreme Court looks like fucking Time Lords up there. Like, you see those people sitting and you listen. Whatever decrees they hand down, you are following immediately.
The court struck down the second appeal by Japanese Muslim plaintiffs against what they perceive as an unconstitutional invasion of their privacy and freedom of religion. 2010 leak of 114 police files revealed nationwide surveillance of Japanese Muslims. The files reveal that Muslim places of worship, halal restaurants, and Islam-related organizations across the capital, Tokyo, were being monitored.
Yes, Kyle. And do you see how Japan has exactly zero Islam problems? Because they do this? Because they keep this shit under wraps? Oh, I can't wait. Kyle, you can tell that he has this pent-up rage and he's about to go on his little rant. Oh, you can't do this. This goes against the Constitution. This is, people's rights. Fuck you, Kyle. You should be able to see that this is beneficial to any society. And Japan can do whatever the fuck it likes.
Okay, so they make crystal clear in the article. They are talking about a situation where, literally, all Muslims are spied on.
Kyle really is a repulsive goblin. Jesus Christ. Do you see how triggered he was by that? Oh, all. You're saying all Muslims. I gotcha. That's his gotcha face. I gotcha. I knew you were a bigot. I knew you were a racist. I gotcha. I caught you in my trap. And you went for it. Oh, just wait. He's going to get into that later. He's going to make some very blanket condemnations of groups of people, which would also fit under the bullshit definition of bigotry. This should be changed and remedied immediately. Fuck you, Kyle.
That is a terrible idea. And you want to talk about a violation of human rights? You want to talk about a violation of civil liberties? This is it right here. Just surveillance of all Muslims. Now,
I really hate when people make this argument like, oh my god, you're stepping on the toes of freedom, which is not a very stereotypical argument for someone like Kyle to make, interestingly enough. But he does it in this case because he's so triggered that Muslims are under attack. No, Kyle, the government can step in and do whatever they like, and they are doing this to protect the civil liberties of those threatened by Muslims. Do you understand how this works? This ordinance is in favor of civil liberty. This is not unfair. They have weighed the consequences of this, and this is what is best for Japan and the rest of the world.
Hold on now. Whenever people on the left make the point, hey, look, man, our only point is don't blame all Muslims for the actions of extremists, oftentimes the response is, well, we're not blaming all Muslims. What are you talking about? We're not blaming all Muslims, even though we're kind of blaming all Muslims, but we're not talking about all Muslims.
We caught him like a deer in fucking headlights. Okay, Kyle, how about this for an answer? I'm sure you don't get to hear this a lot, because people don't have the spine. The answer is yes. Yes, all Muslims. All Muslims perpetuate and normalize Islam. They're all cogs in this machine. They're all adding to the same problem, to varying degrees. Does that mean I view everyone as an extremist? No. And that would be a complete straw man and putting words in my mouth. But what I am saying is these people make Islam seem acceptable within society. And to me, that is unacceptable. So there's your answer. Yes, all.
Okay, well, here you go. Here's your chance. You couldn't craft a more perfect Rorschach test for these people.
Ah, yes, here's the test. This goober is going to attempt to psychoanalyze us. Well, it doesn't work, Kyle, because I don't agree with your premise. I will sit here proudly. I would tell it to your face, yes, all Muslims. And I would explain to you to the varying degrees of condemnation of these Muslims. I would explain that to you. But you want to go with this, oh, I got you because you say not all, but then you really mean yes all. No, Kyle. I mean yes all, and I say yes all.
Japan says they want to spy on all Muslims, not fundamentalists, not people where there's evidence of wrongdoing, not, hey, individuals within the Muslim community, and we get a warrant, and we go the proper way, due process, so on and so forth. Not that. All Muslims.
I like how he says no evidence of wrongdoing. Kyle, being Muslim is wrong. You do understand this, right? You're an atheist, right? You don't like religion? That's kind of your thing? Secular talk? Being Muslim is not a good thing, Kyle. When you subscribe to this religion and this ideology, it would imply that you believe in several fucked up things that do not pass in modernity, that we do not accept. So it makes complete sense for people to say, okay, let's keep an eye on the followers of the pedophile Muhammad, because they're probably up to no good. That makes complete sense, and that's not bigotry. That's not unfair. Think, Kyle, for once.
So, here's your chance. Should we spy on all Muslims? Yes or no? If they answer yes, you are a bigot. There's no way around it.
The idea of being bigoted against an ideology is just aneurysm-inducing, Kyle. You should know that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. No, this is not blatant condemnation bigotry. Like, oh, we're just gonna, that's fine, whatever. We just hate them because they're different than us. Is that what you're getting at? People don't like Muslims around the world, and for very good reason. You should attempt to research that sometime.
Now, oftentimes, false claims of bigotry are made. Sure, I've seen them myself. But that doesn't mean that, therefore, all claims of bigotry are incorrect and wrong. No, sometimes you're called a fucking bigot because you're a fucking bigot.
This man is a ventriloquist dummy. I can't take him seriously for 2 seconds. Jesus, Kyle. Thank you. Thank you for explaining the obvious to me. So wait, Kyle, are you telling me that sometimes when people are called bigots, it's wrong? Gee, I've never heard of that happening. I haven't heard you just doing that 2 seconds ago. But sometimes when people are called bigots, it's correct. You see, in the world we have bigots and we have non-bigots. Oh, fascinating, Kyle. Tell me more.
So if you say, yeah, I want to spy on all Muslims. Yeah, that's a bigoted position. Not all are guilty. Same thing with Donald Trump's policy of banning all Muslims from entering the U.S. I want to ban all of them because ISIS exists.
A position I don't even fully agree with, but let's be fair, Kyle. Let's actually represent what his policy is and the motivations behind it. It's not because he believes that every Muslim is a member of ISIS, although among the Syrian refugees, you could probably find many an ISIS supporter. No, the problem is bringing in people into your culture who are ideologically opposed to you on everything that you value. That is the problem. That is what people like Donald Trump and his voters are primarily concerned about, and they do not think that all Muslims are ISIS members. Jesus.
Okay, but not all of them are ISIS. Do you know what Sufi Muslims are? Sufi Muslims have nothing to do with ISIS. It's mysticism and all that kind of stuff. Ahmadi Muslims, nothing to do with ISIS. Moderate Sunnis, Shias, so on and so forth. There's so many different schools of thought. I don't care, all of them, ban all of them, because I don't want to think about it, because I'm not nuanced, I'm not intellectual, and I don't know, I don't want to use my mind, I don't want to reason.
What a spastic freak. Shut up, Kyle. Okay, so how about this? If they are Muslim, and they view Allah as the perfect God, and Muhammad as his one and only messenger, just based on that alone, I inherently have a problem with these people. You can spew out as much bullshit as you want. Oh, the Sufis, they're mystics. Oh, they're schools of thought. People don't all think the same. Bullshit, Kyle. Bullshit. I could point to hundreds of millions of Muslims who agree with what ISIS is doing. So don't give me that shit.
And so, shut them all out, they're all guilty, and civil liberties, constitutional rights, I don't give a fuck. When it comes to spying on groups I don't like, you can take your constitutional rights and shove them up your ass. I don't care about them.
I am not obligated to like everyone, Kyle. And I dislike this particular group for very nuanced reasons. This is not unwarranted. This isn't just, oh, out of the blue hatred. I hate you people because. No. It's not even hatred. It's being practical. It's being realistic. It's understanding who is a danger to your society and who is not.
So then don't ever come around and say, care about them when it affects me, because you didn't care about them when it affected a different group. So here it is. They say spy on all Muslims, and they're okay with it.
I don't care, Kyle. I'm not even opposed to that in any way. If the government wants to spy on me, if they feel like I'm a threat, then that's their prerogative. They're keeping the public safe. This is why I don't get butthurt and complain when I get stopped at airport security because I look like one of the fucking school shooters. They're being safe. They're being responsible when they do this. The government can spy on whoever the fuck they want because that's their job. Their job is to catch people before they go on shootings or do terrorist attacks. Jesus, you're really opposed to this, Kyle? You're opposed to making a safer, better society because it might hurt the feelings of some Muslims. Fuck you.
Well, then you are bigoted. We're going to call you what the fuck you are, and you don't care about civil liberties. We're going to call that out for what it is.
This is not bigoted in any way. And it also is not wrong for the government to step in and survey certain people who are disproportionately a threat to that society, Kyle. And your opposition to this is just baffling. This is a guy who we probably agree on a lot of things politically. He probably advocates for big government. Good for him. Big government would be very useful in a time like this, in the fight against Islam. But when it comes to using the government to survey those who would seek to harm us, it triggers him. He doesn't want that. I mean, that would be taking away civil liberties. Kyle, this is the definition of a regressive. You are getting rid of your liberal principles just because it's Muslims. Normally, you'd be on my side. You would be on the side of the left. You'd be on the side of pro-government. But when it comes to surveying this certain group, you sound like a goddamn libertarian or an anarchist. You have sold out your liberal values, Kyle Kulinski, because you are no true liberal. You are a convenience liberal. And you are showing your conservative, regressive views at this time. You're wrong, Kyle. Let's keep Japan safe. Let's keep the rest of the world safe from the threat of Islam, which you refuse to acknowledge and minimize whenever you get a chance. Fuck you, Kyle Kulinski of Secular Talk. Reese out.